Holy crap, we have altcoins moving here today. Chainlink up to $24. Keep in mind, yesterday this thing was sitting at $18. And if we go even further back on the 17th, this was sitting around $13. We've almost doubled in that time, and just in the last day, we're up 27%. Now, I'll also be going through why you might want to consider buying 50 Chainlink here today, but we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Let's talk about it. Let's look at what the technicals are saying. I'm actually going to have Tyler help me out with that. Tyler, I'll leave him linked underneath the video so you can go check out his channel. And we'll be looking at a recent piece of news and why I think Chainlink is moving. Now, of course, if you do want to trade Chainlink, you can check out the link underneath the video to BTCC. Make sure you understand what you're doing. Make sure you understand the risks of leverage and using an exchange. But as you can see, you can get really big returns. I'm up 400% on an AVAX long, and it wasn't, some people would say this is very aggressive, but in terms of leverage trading, a 5X, maybe not the most aggressive thing you can do. So definitely check this out underneath the video. They give you a deposit bonus and lower trading fees if you use that link. And let's get into it. As we can see, Bitcoin dominance coming down from 62% down to 56%. We have a lot of altcoins running today, including Chainlink. Now, Chainlink has been a bit of a lagger. We'll look at the charts again because Tyler's going to walk us through. But you can see just like this is the highest price it's been since last bull market. Okay, so my very rudimentary viewing on this chart is, hey, look at some resistance around 27, look at some resistance around like 34, 35, and then again, maybe at 40, 41, 42, and then again at all-time highs at 52. Keep in mind though, market cap is growing, so we are actually close to that peak of, let's see, the price was $34. We're close to that peak in terms of market cap. At that point in the last bull market, we were just under 16 billion. Right now we're at 15.26. So as time goes on, like the market cap is getting bigger, even if the price isn't necessarily quite as high, and that's because there is some dilution. Now, big news from Chainlink recently. Well, they're working with everyone pretty much. I mean, take a look at this recent article. Chainlink's major banking and capital markets announcements: Swift, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporations, Euroclear, Clearstream, JP Morgan, Central Bank of Brazil, State Street, UBS, BNY Mellon, Citi, BNP Paribas, Edward Jones. Like, if you look at the companies that they work with, they're probably the, Alexa, turn off. Sorry, need a timer for something, but they're probably the most star-studded cast of partners in the industry. I mean, up there, but probably even past like XRP's list of partners, probably just short of Bitcoin. So Chainlink is key to so many things in crypto. I like that it's starting to move a bit. Now let's get over to Tyler's view on this and where this could go.
Well, I appreciate that intro there, Sam. And yeah, look, let's just jump straight into Chainlink because things are getting spicy. Now, to give a little context as to what Chainlink has been up to, what you can see is that things have been very systematic over the last few years. So even though things haven't been particularly good and Chainlink has been kind of performing quite ugly by many regards, it has been very systematic. Now, what I mean by that is that as Chainlink's price did break out of this range, things started to actually heat up and put Chainlink in a spot to where it might start trying to push up towards that all-time high, especially very soon. What you can see here is that Chainlink had this very clear range right here, right? It was just going sideways, boom, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then eventually it broke out of it. When it broke out of that range, it came straight up to this Fibonacci golden zone, the most important point of liquidity on any crypto's charts, and then it got rejected off of that level. But you know what's interesting is that as Chainlink did get rejected off this level, you know where it came directly back down to? It came directly back to that previous point of liquidity, this zone right here, and flip this big old resistance point into some support before using it to continue upwards. And funnily enough, not only was it just this previous point of resistance right here, it was also the bottom side Fibonacci zone. It came directly down into the bottom side golden zone and used this support as well as this range to push the price back upwards, now back interacting with this top side golden zone. And so what we can see, before we even talk about what Chainlink is doing right now, what we can see is that although it felt like Chainlink was kind of just going up and going down and going up and going down, it was actually actually making a systematic breakout of this structure that could open up the door for its price to start pushing towards an all-time high, which is what I believe it's trying to do right now, what it's attempting to do right now. And so you can't be too mad about the fact that it didn't do too much over the last few years, because it is preparing itself for what could be some really gnarly gains coming forward. Now, fast forward to present day, what we can see is that ever since establishing this support down here, Chainlink has done very good. Is he used this RS flip, or this resistance to support flip, to actually catapult itself upwards. Not only did it smash through this high, smash through this high, and smash through this high, but it's also broken itself into this 618786 box, which it failed to do the last time. The last time it got up towards this golden Fibonacci zone, it failed, immediately got rejected to the downside. Whereas this time, that's not what we're seeing. This time we are seeing it break its way into here, which is of course a very good sign. As many of you know, when you break the golden Fibonacci zone, it opens the door for you to not only go up towards your previous all-time high, but oftentimes even further than that. And in an instance like this, not only could we see Chainlink's price surpass, $32 and start pushing back up towards that $53 all-time high, many analysts would actually agree that the breakout target there would then push it up towards $104 in real good bullish weather, or possibly even as high as $239 in the best bullish weather. And so that's why it's so important that we watch this little golden zone so closely between $33 and between $21, because if Chainlink's price can break through this, again, that door for a possible 5x opens up wide, and that's why it's so important. And so because of that, what I want people to be on the lookout for the most right now is if Chainlink can break through this golden zone or not, because if it does or doesn't will truly determine where its price goes, in my opinion, over the next couple months, and that could have huge implications of what the future of Chainlink looks like for possibly even the next half to a full year. And so with that in mind, of course, we will continue to update you here on Sam's channel as to what is going on and how things are playing out, but make sure that you do watch this very closely, because man, there's so much on the line here. So of course, as per usual, back to you, Sam.
Thanks so much, Tyler. Of course, I don't know where Bitcoin dominance is going to go. I think there's a case to be made for like Bitcoin dominance maybe moving back up a little bit, just because we have been going sideways on Bitcoin. And typically this is what happens, right? Bitcoin runs and runs and runs, and then it stalls out. Altcoins get a lot of liquidity, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin starts moving back up and taking away from some of the altcoins, or maybe not taking away, but it's the one getting the majority of inflows. And then we see another bit of outflows, and we have the real alt season. This is like a little preemie alt season in a lot of ways, but it will be very interesting to watch. Now, in the title and at the beginning of the video, I talk about 50 Chainlink. Now, why is that the magic number? Well, to be clear, there is no magic about it. Right? I'm kind of playing with that number magic. The fact is, any number of any cryptocurrency is a bit arbitrary. We don't know the final price that Chainlink's going to hit this bull run. We also don't know if you're going to be able to sell at the very top. But if Chainlink does get up to that $200 mark that Tyler said is possible, that would put the market cap, let me just skim it here, it would put the market cap around a 10x from where it is now, which would be $150 billion. Is that a huge gain? Absolutely. That is insane from here. But we have 3-4 cryptos right around there now during the bull run. Who knows, right? Chainlink is one of the most well-known, one of the most used cryptocurrencies that has real technology behind it, has a ton of partners. So if you're thinking it is going to hit $200, if you had 50 Chainlink, it would be worth about $10,000. Now, again, that's just kind of an arbitrary number. When you have $9,000 worth of something versus $10,000 worth of something, it's only 10% better or 11% better. It's not like everything changes, but that is a big psychological milestone. So trying to set these goals might be good for you. Now, should you go out and buy a bunch of Chainlink? If you only, let's say you have $3,000 in your portfolio, should you be 33% Chainlink just to get to that number that I laid out? Not necessarily. I think everything in moderation, right? You can be bullish on Chainlink, and you can also have just 5% of your portfolio in it. You can diversify. But I do think it's something that you want to be paying attention to during this bull run. Maybe have a little bit of an allocation in case it really does run, right? It is actually a really good cryptocurrency and a really good company with real tech. So maybe you want an allocation to it. Maybe you want 1%, 2%, 3%. Maybe you just want all Bitcoin, and that's fine. But I would ask why you're watching this video then. But that is why I lay out that 50 Chainlink number, right? It's $1,000 right now. Maybe it's $10,000 during the bull run. Keep in mind, it would have been a lot more too if you had dollar cost average into Chainlink or into, some other altcoin or Bitcoin during the bear market. That's the key. You have to be here for a while, and then you make those really nice, really big gains as well. Now, of course, like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. Maybe Chainlink goes up to $80 this bull run. Still, you're making a nice 2-3x, which is what it would take 10, 15 years in the stock market to do the same thing. So overall, if Chainlink hits new all-time highs, I think you're sitting in a pretty good place. So let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. And in case you do want to, either buy spot or leverage long some altcoins, you can check out the link to BTCC. Of course, like I said, make sure you understand the risks. This is not for everyone. Not everyone can handle trading or using leverage. But in case you can or you want to trade on leverage, there's a link to BTCC underneath the video. We've been able to make really big gains, and actually, look at this one, 400% on AVAX. That is unbelievable. So AVAX running here today, along with a lot of the other cryptos in the market. Again, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one.